On June 21st, 1973, Dolorise Gonzales left for work in the city of Gulfport and never returned home. Since that day, extensive investigations have been conducted not only in Gulfport but also in Choctaw County, Alabama. As a result of those extensive investigations, today we're here to announce that through cooperative efforts we have positively identified Doloris' remains. Her remains were located or recovered in a wooded area in Choctaw County, Alabama in February of 1974.
One of the investigators for Harrison County contacted me about social media. Somebody brought up the Dolorise Gonzales case and wanted to know if I knew anything about it. I started looking into the case. I reached out to the family, her brother and her daughter. I went ahead and asked them if they could provide DNA samples, and I got those DNA samples and entered them into the CODIS database. In March of this past year, we were contacted and advised of a possible match. Once we did that, I started going through all the family's notes. They kept very detailed notes from the investigators that have worked the case through Gulfport over the years and private investigators. I took all those notes and started going back and started interviewing all the people that were involved in the 70s and started looking at a timeline into her last day. I went ahead and located 3 witnesses that came forward, and basically they advised that the suspect had confided in them that he had committed the murder and placed her into the woods. And this was all after we got the CODIS hit, and we contacted Choctaw County because they had entered the bones into the CODIS database in 2010. The suspect is going to be Robert Gonzales. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2007 in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. The investigators looked at her husband, but they could never find her. They didn't know where she went to. They didn't know if she'd been murdered. We didn't know about the missing girl in Choctaw County at that time. Choctaw County had a missing, well, they had remains, and they didn't know who she was. And it was just, we had a lot of evidence, we had a lot of information, it's just, we couldn't connect them.